2 on NFL Primetime. So you're 0-1, time to run. Jamal Lewis blows through the Browns and into the record books. The Pack go green, while the Colts turn to edge. It's Run, Ricky, Run in the Jersey Swamp. The Steelers had no prayer against this priest. The Rams knock out the Niners' passing attack. But for how long? The Texans look to drive their car to 2-0. Will somebody please score either the Pats or the Eagles or both? We take on all challenges. NFL Primetime next.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to Week 2 of NFL Primetime. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson. Glad you could be along. Glad you could be along. A lot of teams looking at 0-2, going a couple of them, and we're all looking at one player tonight.
That's correct.
Aren't we?
That's correct. We're looking at a guy who, we don't often get to see history in the NFL.
That's for sure. That's
Not
for
this
sure.
time.
Although this guy had a premonition, apparently.
Really?
And we're talking about Jamal Lewis, fourth-year running back, Baltimore Ravens. Talking to a friend of his on the Cleveland Browns, according to another Brown player, Earl Little, who's a safety, he actually told my teammate that he was going to run over us and he was going to break the NFL rushing record. Said Little then back, he said, tell you what, he's not as great as he thinks he is. You can print that. He's a good back. He's no Edgerrin James. He's no Ricky Williams. And he's definitely no Priest Holmes. Well, today, Jamal Lewis outran them all. And I mean them all. Here we go. Ray Lewis. Jamal Lewis. You thought it was Ray Lewis's team? Not on this day. Second play from scrimmage at home against Cleveland. Goodbye. Stiff arm. Block downfield from Travis Taylor. Very nice. And look at the move. 60 yards downfield. 82 yards. 7-0. Quote the Ravens.
Yeah, he exemplifies a power runner. You're going to see him once he gets through the hole. The linebacker, Kevin Bentley, going to come in from the side. Instinctively, he can see him peripherally. He gives him a good stiff arm, and he's a little bit faster than people give him credit for. Fast enough to get to the end zone.
Well, still in the first quarter. All right, we don't have 82 yards every time, but look at this. Oh, by the way, Tommy, there are 4 moves on that 23-yard run right there. Second quarter. Watch this. Lewis. Delay handoff and up the middle and bounce that way, and there's the goalpost, and you are not bringing me down. The speed, the power, and the moves of this young man from Atlanta, Georgia, fourth-year man from Tennessee.
Yeah, 60 yards on that play, a holding penalty, but he got credit for 48 of the 60.
Fourth quarter, 16-13 Ravens, and now, oh, you took a 60-yard away. Give it back. He could go all the way into the end zone. Would he go all the way into the record books? That's 63 yards, which gives him a total of 258. Lewis, exhausted. And why not? Look at the moves, Tommy.
Yeah, when you look at the kind of runner he is, he's a little bit patient to the hole. You talk about those 3 or 4 moves just before he gets to the hole. But once he sees the crease, he is pure power.
19 yards shy of the record now, Tom. Now, what would happen here? My goodness, he might get it right here. Leaps over a tackler. It's 18 yards. He's one shy of Corey Dillon of the Bengals' single-game record. Lewis says, I want, but you think Brian knew, Billick knew that, well, he might be 1 yard short. Let's give him the ball. And probably the most unspectacular run of the day for Lewis. 3 yards gives him an amazing total at this point of 280. He wasn't done. Jamal Lewis ends with 295 yards. The Ravens, who were embarrassed last week, do some embarrassing of their own. 33-13, the Ravens on a record-setting day for Jamal Lewis. He said he'd do it. He did.
It was a little, a phone call, from Andre, and, he told me he wanted me to get the ball 30 times. I told him if I get the ball 30 times, it's gonna be a career day. And, I'm not gonna say I predicted, but it was lucky. I lucked up and then got it. No, I didn't think it was impossible. Corey Dillon got it. He broke the record, and I knew it was possible, but when, I didn't know. When I was going in for halftime and Jonathan Ogden said, let's go get it. We can get 300 yards. Let's go get the record. And I knew then, I got the confidence out of him, and I knew that they was ready to go.
Andre Davis, a friend of his who was on Cleveland, that's who he's talking about. And now, you're on a list. The old record holder was Corey Dillon just a few years ago. The two guys right beneath that, Walter Payton, O.J. Simpson. Almost 300 yards rushing by one individual. And just think back to 2 years ago, he missed the entire season with a knee injury. Yikes, Tom. Congratulations to Jamal Lewis.
Well, congratulations, but a little bit amazing that a guy could actually predict this, kind of like Babe Ruth pointing to center field, Joe Namath guaranteeing Super Bowl win. But when you look at this guy, he is first and foremost a power runner. And that's why no matter what he does at the line of scrimmage, you will see him break some tackles. 9 people in the box here. Cleveland fully prepared and concentrating and focusing on stopping Jamal Lewis. He breaks a lot of tackles. Like I said, he has unusual speed for a big, powerful guy. Good quickness right there. 2-3 moves to get him past the last corner and get him into the end zone. Dalen McCutcheon was that corner. Here again, good vision. Doesn't look like there is a hole there, but he's looking for one. There's one broken tackle. There's 2 broken tackles. There's a 3rd broken tackle right there to get him into the end zone. When you look at this guy, yes, it's an amazing day for him, but I still can't get over, and I'll be talking about this the rest of the week, I can't get over the fact that you predict that you're going to break the single-game rushing record in the NFL. It's amazing.
Unbelievable. And the combination, which you have to do if you're going to run for 300 yards like that, or almost 300 yards, combination of moves and speed and power, yikes. Yikes. Congratulations, a record, and we're not even to the fall yet. And we're only at the beginning of the show. The chance look to put another 0 on the board. Would Jake and the Panthers be easy pickings? It's touchdown after touchdown in Kansas City. Vinny owns the Fins. Would the second Sunday be any different? And, oh no, Air McNair grounded again. Titans Colts on the way. A lot of teams surprisingly 0-1 won. The Green Bay Packers, that's Brett Favre with an old quarterback coach and still current one of his best friends, Steve Mariucci, now in his division coaching the Lions. And second play from scrimmage, they all watch as Amon Green, 65-yard touchdown. The Packers led the Lions 7-0. A minute in, there it was. Second quarter, 14-3 Favre, a shovel pass touchdown. Antonio Freeman was signed this week with all the injuries. They cracked a couple of old jokes. First catch as a Packer in a couple of years. 17-6 Pack of the third quarter. Favre, yeah, we've seen that, Tom. He still has that mustard. Robert Ferguson, 14 yards, 24-6, Tommy. And then defense for the Pack today.
Yeah, Packers defensively, especially up front, stopping the run, as you can see right here, and then applying the pressure to the quarterback. Good coverage in their defensive backfield. Put Harrington under pressure all day, force a few mistakes by a guy who's only in his second year. You walk away with a win.
3 picks. Harrington threw it 55 times. Look, they just got their running back, Olandis Gary, a couple of weeks ago, and Favre and Mooch. After the game, Favre has beaten Mooch almost every time they played. Back to the days when Mooch was head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. So the Packers win by the count of 31-6. And so they finally ended that long losing streak in Lambeau.
Yeah, and Brett Favre asked for more run support. Amon Green, you see the 23 carries, 160
yards. Meanwhile, Redskins at the Falcons. And your old coach, Tom, Dan Reeves, trying to become just the 6th coach ever to win 200 games in the NFL. What a great career he's had. And the Falcons at home against the Skins up 10-0 second quarter. Blindside hit Matt Stewart off Patrick Ramsey. Ed Jasper has the ball at the 1-yard line, which results in a T.J. Duckett touchdown.
Yeah, Brian Johnson right here going to miss his block, and Stewart making a beeline for Ramsey's backside, and right there you know that ball is going to be coming out.
So remember, this is 17-0 Atlanta, now 17-7. Ifeanyi Ohalete from Springfield, Illinois, by way of USC, intercepts Doug Johnson, setting up a Rock Cartwright score. And so a 17-0 Atlanta lead is now 17-14. 24-17 Atlanta third, Patrick Ramsey to Lavernius Coles. Boy, these two are headed toward a big year in that offense. And so is Ramsey with Rod Gardner. Oh, that's nice. 21-yard touchdown pass, 24 all in the game. Third quarter. Doug Johnson sacked for a safety, Jesse Armstead. And it's 26-24 Skins. Now in the fourth. They got Lavernius Coles for big plays like this. Just a little screen, but watch him work, Tom.
Yeah, he's got that great burst that we talk about, good speed, a highly aggressive player, and got better size than a lot of wide receivers in this league.
That's 33 yards, and then Patrick Ramsey, the youngster, second-year man, floats it out there to Coles, 19 yards. The celebration is the only thing that Coles didn't have down. Patrick Ramsey and the Redskins go on to beat the Falcons 33-31. For Ramsey, 25 of 39 for 356, so he hung in there despite 6 sacks. Coles 11 for 180, Gardner 9 for 118. But the biggest stat for Washington, the first time they've been 2-0 since 1991. Why does that year stick out? That was the last time they won the Super Bowl. The old ball coach, hanging it around, Tom. David Carr and the Texans looked so impressive last week. The Saints did not. But a theme today, why don't we run it? Deuce McAllister, 24 yards, touchdown, Saints 7-0.
Yeah, take another play at the beginning. Great blocking up front. You're going to see this offensive line create a nice seam. Deuce doesn't even have the ball yet. Everybody's on their blocks. Create enough of a seam, fullback lead, where he doesn't really even have to change directions. This is just the way you draw it up on the blackboard. You see the seam, you burst through, and you get to the end zone.
7-0 still in Carr with it. But look at him make the move on Jay Bellamy, one of the Bellamy brothers who lets his love show. But Carr gets in the end zone for a touchdown. We're tied at 7. Look at this, Tom.
Yeah, Bellamy won't want to see this on film tomorrow, being faked out by the quarterback, and I mean really being faked out by the quarterback.
So Houston 2-touchdown underdog last week at Miami. They won 9-point underdog. This time they lead 10-7.5. But Deuce McAllister breaks not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 tackles to go 31 yards. Same drive. Deuce. Oh, he turns forward down to the 2. And then when you're looking run, then it's Aaron Brooks. Ernie Conwell, the big tight end, 24-10. And then defense steps in. The one-time Dolphin, Derek Rogers. Off the tip pass, he could go all the way. 40 yards, big second half. Saints, they lead at 31-10.
Yeah, and take a look here at what David Carr was looking at all day. He's trying to look down the field, has absolutely no time to set his feet. He's got Willie Whitehead on top of him for a sack.
One of 5 sacks today by the Saints against the Texans, who allowed no sacks last week. So we can now reveal the Houston Texans will not go undefeated this year, Tom. They played They played all right, but the Saints finally got it going. New Orleans wins it by close to 100 yards rushing from McAllister, 31-10. When we return, well, both guys got hurt. Both guys had heated discussion, and it was a nail-biter with the Niners trying to win at the Rams for the first time in 5 years. Steve McNair has clobbered the Colts. This time, the Colts return the favor.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Miller Lite.
Big game in the AFC South, the Titans and the Colts, and the Titans have had Peyton Manning's number. Edgerrin James, though, has this number back this year, Tom. 16-yard run, Edge 30 carries 120. Then you try to cover the record-setting receiver Marvin Harrison. It's Samari Roll. And, I mean, the old one, Willie Brown was playing, this was legal.
Yeah, Samari Roll thinking that the pressure's going to be right there, playing off and coming up, just took a bad angle to Marvin Harrison. You can see that's an obvious interference call.
So the next play here in the second quarter, Manning to Harrison. Watch this grab. Oh, wow, touchdown. Manning to Harrison, and it's going to be 17-7, Colts.
Yeah, Manning does a great job of giving a little pump fake and a look to the left. This is a pure go route by Marvin Harrison, and he just ran by Samari Roll, and then you get the great catch and the toe tap in the end zone.
Unbelievable catch by Harrison, and it's 17-7, right before the half. Steve McNair to Derek Mason. It's 8 yards for the plus for Tennessee, but McNair dislocates his right ring finger. Leaves the game. You know how tough he is. He would miss a couple of series in the third quarter. Billy Volek, that's right. They cut Neil O'Donnell. Billy Volek was playing. McNair did return, but he was stripped by Robert Mathis. Monte Rager with the recovery. And in the end, we really didn't get the feel of this, but the Colts, this is one of the biggest wins they've had, certainly in this little era of Manning and Dungy together. And Peyton Manning has been stifled by this team, who represented his, volunteer state. 33-7 Indy. They reported this game since April.
Solid run defense by the Indianapolis coaches. You see by Eddie George's number right there. And I think the most important thing, they played a tough football game, a tougher game than the Tennessee Titans.
And no turnovers. They didn't get behind as they have during them. And so that they have the upper hand in the division. Well, in the AFC East, a lot of teams trying to jump back from 0-1. That's injured Chad Pennington, trying to get his Jets pumped up. Off 10 days against also 0-1 Miami. Tradition! He gets smacked, but Jay Fiedler, touchdown, 7-3 Miami in the first.
Yeah, watch Ricky Williams here. You're going to see John Abraham on the other side of the ball. You get the motion, everything leading him to the left side. He flattens out down the line, doesn't stay as deep as the football. Allows Fiedler to get around the corner. You got contained, stay as deep as the football, make sure it's handed off.
And so they keep an eye on John Abraham.
Yeah, Junior Seau right here, going to do a great job of coming up, fighting off a block. Shedden does a great job of putting the runner down on the ground. So the Dolphins defense pretty pumped up for this.
7-3, second and goal. Fiedler to Randy McMichael, such a big pass-catching tight end. It's a touchdown, and now Miami in the driver's seat, 14-3.
Yeah, Randy McMichael, one of the better receiving tight ends in the league right there. Going to get to the linebacker. It's the guy who's inside. And right there, a little dip inside. And most linebackers cannot run with this kid, even from the 5-yard line. He gets that separation. Fiedler does a nice job of delivering the football.
Okay, Tom, now you got the lead. So you're the Miami Dolphins. What do?
You run Ricky Williams. And I think that for Coach Wannstedt, this will be a staple of their game throughout the year. Running Ricky Williams. He did get 1,800 yards because Coach Wannstedt didn't understand giving him the football.
First was a 22-yard run. We showed you that's a 2-yard touchdown run, and now it's 21-3. The Jets, Vinny Testaverde has done so well as a Jet against Miami. This 32-yard touchdown pass to Santana Moss early in the fourth gives the Jets hope at 21-10. But then Vinny, trying to make something happen, trying to get 2 scores late, throws to Patrick Surtain. You think he knew it? Well, he knew it as soon as he threw it. And the Dolphins beat the New York Football Jets, a very important win for Miami. They win it by the count of 21-10, 125 yards for Ricky Williams. First win for the Dolphins in the Meadowlands since 1997. Testaverde played all right, played pretty well, actually. 373 yards throwing, and now the most impressive list for quarterbacks other than Super Bowl rings is this. The 40,000-yard club. Marino, Elway, Warren Moon, Fran Tarkenton, Hall of Famer Dan Fouts, Brett Favre, Joe Montana, Johnny Unitas, and Vinny Testaverde. That's your 9 at 40,000 and counting. But it comes on a day that he wasn't happy because the Jets lost their own 2. 49ers ran. Last 4 years, the Niners have not won in there. But Mike Martz sees Kurt Warner, says you're sitting, made that decision this week. And Mark Bolger, the Tin Man, is starting for the St. Louis Rams. And with the Niners scoring first 7-0, Torrey Holt with a pretty catch on a nice throw by Bolger. Look at Holt, Tom.
Great one-hand catch by Holt and a great route that he ran. And this is what they were able to do 4 deep in terms of receivers. We're all able to run good routes. We all have great hands.
Both Terrell Owens and Jeff Garcia were dinged, concussion-like, but they were both back. And then 10-7 Niners, but the tip pass to Travis Fisher. Watch Terrell Owens save what looks like a touchdown here late in the second quarter. He tracks Fisher down despite the fact he had a convoy.
Well, that's great hustle by Terrell Owens. That's Aeneas Williams trying to get out in front and trying to block him. And you can see how big and strong he is. He runs through Aeneas and makes a great play. Ends up without a score, as he said.
And no score at all involved because the Niners bring some defense here, Tom.
Yeah, Chidi Ahanatu and Brian Young. Just watch them back out. Watch the linemen in front of them. They're looking for somebody to hit. Meanwhile, the quarterback, Mark Bolger, is taking the brunt of that pressure 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Pretty amazing look right there.
So defenses both having their way at this point. It's 10-7 Niners at the half. And then for the first time this year, we can say it, Marshall. 26 yards. We miss saying that, Tom.
I know.
But he had to come out, had the eye looked at. Later in the drive from the 2, Marshall. Had to say it quicker. It's just a 2-yard run. 14-10. The Rams take the lead. Falk, 18 carries, 57 yards. But now it's 17-14 San Francisco. Bolger after 2 fumbles earlier in the game. Now looks good to Dane Goodlooker. Touchdown. Warner even says, way to go on the sidelines to Bulger as the Rams have a 21-17 lead. Just before the 2-minute warning. How about the draw plays called by Dennis Erickson and staff? 2 big ones to Garrison Hurst in this final drive, Tom. That's 36 yards. 4th and 8. 23 seconds left. Down 7. Garcia. Owen. Touchdown. We're tied at 24. So we go to overtime. Well, maybe not yet. Let's pooch kick it. And then watch. Doink! It's off at Rams' head. The ball is loose. Arnaz battled. Desi Arnaz falls on it. You got a lot of explaining to do. 49ers ball. 9 seconds to go. Garcia. Cedric Wilson. They got a timeout. Get down. Get down. Or if not, score. Uh-oh. And there goes the gun. We're going to over. They couldn't get the timeout. They go to overtime, so you know what's going to happen. You're going to lose the toss. That's a given. And the Rams get the ball and return it almost to midfield. Bulger, Marshall Falk, Marshall, inside the 10. Wilson can only hope that one-time Niner kicker Jeff Wilkins misses the 28-yard chip shot. He doesn't. It's good. Mike Martz, Rams, dodged the Niners bullet. The Niners were good enough to win this game in there. But for the 5th straight year in there, the Rams continue their late mastery of the 49ers and win a very important game for them. 27-24. So both of these squads now are at 1-1 in a game that, well, now we have to look forward, okay? Kurt Warner will be 100% healthy, we think, next week.
And he will be the backup.
Right. I mean, is that where we go?
Yeah, I think that's a given, and that's what Mike Martz has said. And I think the difference is that they had a little more balance, at least when they got to the second half of this football game. You had 7 runs for the Rams in the first half. You had more than that in the first drive of the second half, 8, when they went 93 yards for a score to take the lead. After that, I think that run-pass ratio is 17-19, much more balanced. And I give Mike Martz credit because he made this decision between Warner and Bulger. Yes, it was made easier for him because of the concussion, but he made this decision week 1. Week 1.
And one comment on the Niners side, 13 penalties for 121. A lot of them the foolish jumping off. They were good enough to win it, but they couldn't quite beat the Rams in St. Louis. When we return, Rams go to Seattle next week. Very interesting game. When we return, Priest Holmes as the high-scoring Chiefs meet the Steelers. Bring your abacus. And a shocker between the champion Bucks and another team that brings its defense. A great end to regulation, and then on to OT. We'll show you what happened. Sunday Night Football, the Homer Dome opener, if you will, of the Minnesota Vikings, rejuvenated in the NFC North, taking on the Chicago Bears in their last stop on their odyssey before they finally get to see a reopened Soldier Field. But on Sunday Night Football, I was at Minnesota. Stuart Scott with the highlights.
Our Sunday nighter, Bears in Minnesota, third quarter. Bears down 17-10, first and 10 in the 36. Colorado down late at the big house. Cordell Stewart to Michael Westbrook, deep. Oh, my bad. Flashback. Sorry. It's actually to Dez White. Cordell 13 of 21, a buck 37. Bears would score a field goal, 17-13 Vikings. Watch Brian Urlacher looking to make the stop, but Chris Lewinsky says, get your back. Mo Williams, Mo money. Mo had 108 yards rushing, Vikings 202 yards rushing. Same drive, 3rd and goal. As Sean Salisbury would say, Dante Culpepper getting his freakazoid on. Jim Kleinsasser had 2 touchdowns. Vikes win at 24-13. You want some fat AFC East drama? Bills and Dolphins, Sunday night, ESPN football's game of the week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right after NFL Primetime at 7:30.
It's our prime cut highlight, a pair of 1-0 teams in the heartland. Dick Vermeil's Kansas City Chiefs against Bill Cowher and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Second play from scrimmage, Steeler defense. Chad Scott with the pick of Trent Green, 26 yards, gone, 7-0. Pittsburgh. Field goal Steelers makes it 10-0. But the game turns right here. Pro Bowl return man Dante Hall. And whoop! Now watch Jeff Reed, the kicker. Ole! But he doesn't get him. He could go all the way. 100-yard kick return, the longest in 36 years for Kansas City, back in the time when Hank Stram was coaching the Chiefs, and he was at the game today to watch this performance.
Yeah, you know, Jeff Reed right there tried to do the best job he could of tripping. He just missed on it.
2 minutes for tripping, he didn't get the penalty. James Ferrier with a pick, though, of Trent Green. And so Pittsburgh's defense coming up big. And right away, you want to make him pay. Play action, Tommy Maddox. Oh, how nice is this?
Beautiful.
The Plexico burst, 33 yards, 17-7 Steelers. The defensive coordinator, Greg Robinson, yelling at the fan. Not fans, fans. But the game was still early, and they have their priest. And Tom, here's a 15-yard sermon by Priest Holmes.
Yeah, he just does such a great job of being patient and understanding running the football, and I love his aggressiveness. He always falls forward with the ball. Just an outstanding runner.
Or flies forward, Tom. 4-yard touchdown, 17-14. Boy, Dick celebrates on every score. It's just so much fun to watch. Trent Green to Jason Dunn. Well done. Touchdown. Chiefs with the lead. 21-17. 5 minutes left to go in the half, Tom. And then tip pass. Jerome Woods is gone 46 yards.
Yeah, great job. And Tommy Maddox, I think one of the things that you can do is sometimes follow his eyes to the football.
And there's the owner, Lamar Hunt, celebrating 27-17 lead. 4 yards for Priest Holmes. It's a confessional. 34-20. Bill Cowers, man, this team in here is unbelievable. And then last week it was new defensive addition Vonnie Holiday. Today it was the ex-Eagles Sean Barber, the linebacker, with the pick and showing good wheels. This is a big play. It's still a very close game. This kind of cemented it.
Yeah, and take a look under the arrow. That's Sean Barber, and this is what I meant. He follows Tommy Maddox's eyes all the way across the end zone, makes that a pretty easy pick for himself.
And then here's Priest on a 30, with the move at the 5, 31-yard touchdown, and 122 yards rushing for him, gives him over 300 all-purpose yards in the 2 games. Both wins by the Chiefs, both impressive wins at home. Arrowhead is that home field advantage again, Tom. You played in there every year as the Chiefs beat the Steelers 41-20, and for Priest Holmes, I mean, I know that we cracked 14 games last year and 1 this year, and so you really don't, I mean, it's not a record or anything, but his last 15 games, okay, he has yards from scrimmage almost 2,600, 29 touchdowns. The record in one season, 2,500, a little less than that by Marshall Faulk, and 26 TDs, same by Marshall.
Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
Well, hey, look, the Kansas City Chiefs, we know what the credo was. They were the worst defense in football, but we score all these points. Well, if we can get the defense, to the middle, Tom, then they have a chance.
Yeah, we think somewhere between 20 and 15.
In the high
teams,
right?
We think that they can be okay. But I think the key to their success is always going to be Priest Holmes.
Right.
And I think what we can do here is contrast what we saw with Jamal Lewis, pure power runner, to Priest Holmes, who's this exquisite do-everything back, the quicks to get to the outside. He has enough power to make things work. You've got here Willie Rofe at the left tackle, John Tate at the right tackle. You're going to get Willie Rofe going through, looking for the second-level guy. John Tate creates the seam for him, but the patience shown by Priest Holmes to get through the hole. And again here, the cutback vision. Look, he's running downhill toward the sideline, but you can see him looking back to find that lane. Then he has that great burst and that ability to get through, and I think maybe the best thing that he does, when you get down, this is Marcus Allen all over again, gets down to that 5-yard line. I have what they call that nose for the end zone. I really know how to score.
And you know what? We talked about it last week, but it didn't take us very long to say, Priest Holmes says, hey, give me the contract. I'm fine. Well, we're going to draft Larry Johnson, Penn State, just in case you're not fine. He's fine. He's more than fine. He's fine enough to give the Chiefs real hope and a 2-0 start. When we return, Seahawks with some big plays in the heat in the desert. And speaking of big plays, Clinton Portis. Sophomore slump for him, for Denver? I don't think so. San Diego found that out.
A man in Austria survived without food or water for 18 days. The largest bicep is 30 inches around. Miller Lite has 1/3 less carbs than Coors Light. Amazing, huh? Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Human thigh bones are stronger than concrete. The tallest wave ever surfed was 66 feet tall. Miller Lite has half the carbs of Bud Light. Amazing, huh? Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
There's a state where there's fun around every corner, where all cars are turbocharged, and there's a direct link between the right foot and a smile. Maybe that's why people who test drive a Saab usually buy one. This is the state of independence. Welcome.
Get attractive year-end pricing on a 2003 Saab 9.3 linear sports sedan. Now available for as low as $299 a month.
There's nothing like the open road, feeling in control. So when I got genital herpes, I wasn't about to let it get me down. I took charge. I saw my doctor and learned about 2 treatment options with Valtrex. Living the life.
Chargers, the home opener for the Chargers, Denver's second road game. Clinton Portis had 120 yards last week against the Bengals. What do you think's going to happen here? Oh, there's nothing open, so what? And then what? And then, oh, yeah, he's even got Jake Plummer downfield, Tommy.
Great
throwing
block.
a block.
Great block.
25-yard gain. Portis had 41 carries on the first drive. 7-0 Denver. Then, what? He's even good in the infield dirt. He should play second base. Look at this. 58-yard on the run. Portis, 129 yards in the first half, but would leave with a chest injury. 5 plays later, 3rd and goal. Plummer tucks it. Shannon Sharp. And 14-3 Denver for the second straight week. San Diego in a big hole in the first half. Play action, Plummer. Bootleg, dive, gets in. He would leave with a mild concussion with a 21-3 lead. Steve Berline, play action. To Shannon Sharp. Wow. Goes back to get it. 37-13 Denver, heading toward their Monday night home opener against the Raiders with an impressive win on the road again, 37-13. I think San Diego's going to be backwards this year. Struggle early, better late.
Clinton Portis, great balance, and I love the way Coach Shanahan made Jake Plummer comfortable.
The Seattle Seahawks in Arizona, plenty of tickets still available, even though the game is over. Emmitt Smith at home in the Arizona home opener. Jeff Blake. It's a fumble from Brian Johnson. Marcus Trufant, the rookie, leads with Seattle touchdown. Blake to Anquan Bolden, but Ken Hamlin, another rookie, strips it. Chad Brown picks it off. Then Blake with a rollout. He often throws it out of the screen. Not often like that, Tom. And then he pulls up lame, and he's in pain. He wouldn't return with a bruised heel. 7-0 Seahawks. On the toss, it's a fumble by Emmett. Randall Godfrey, 54 yards. 14-0 Seahawks. 24-0 in the third. Matt Hasselbeck. Darrell Jackson. Good coverage. 66 yards. The Seattle Seahawks win 38-0. They're 2-0. They get the Rams at home next week. They get the 49ers at home on an ESPN Sunday nighter Columbus Day weekend. It's set up awfully nicely for the Seahawks, Tom, in that division.
And look at the numbers for Matt Hasselbeck. 8 of 19, 175 yards. That's a really good 175 yards off 8 completions.
Well, in Arizona, giving up almost 100 points, right, in 2 weeks. Buffalo, here we go. It's the Bengals and the Raiders. Corey Dillon, single-game rushing record. He knows it's broken. Can he come back where Rich Gannon overthrows Tim Brown? 13-13. The Bengals are actually tied with the Raiders with 8 minutes to go in the game in Oakland. In a game Oakland needs. Alvis Whitted can't hang on to this high pass from Gannon. Punt for the Raiders. Gannon throwing for only 103 yards. John Kitna rolls out to Chad Johnson. 34 yards. 2 plays later, the Bengals, they're going to win it. Oh, no. It's Phillip Buchanan. Could go all the way. Oh, no. 83 yards. How could it happen?
Yeah, Buchanan just really made a good break on the football, stepped inside of the receiver right there, and has outstanding speed that got him to the end zone.
But give John Kidd and the Bengals credit. We're coming back. Pump fake. And they look for Chad Johnson. It's ruled a catch. They looked at it. Both feet in. Let's take another look. Johnson. See those orange shoes? You can really see them, Tom.
Good catch.
It's key. 3rd and 48. Kitna. To Peter Warren. Touchdown. 20 all. The Bengals have tied it on the road. Ensuing drive. Raiders. 45 seconds to go. Gannon. Charlie Garner. What a move. Out of bounds at the 38 and 24-yard play. 3rd and 10. Blitz. Everybody coming for Cincinnati. Incomplete, but flag on the play. pass interference.
And great pickup by the offensive line on the blitz.
So Jeff Burris flagged. Sebastian Janikowski with a shot right through the upright. 39 yards, and the Raiders win it over the game Bengals 23-20 in a game that since he held Rich Gannon to 103 yards and John Kitna threw for 303.
Yeah, but I think if you're Marvin Lewis, you're feeling pretty good. The Raiders, credit them for the win, but Marvin Lewis, you see some improvement with this football team.
The Raiders almost in big trouble, but they escape with their mark now at 1-1. To Bledsoe, to the Buffalo Bills, in the Florida Heat in Jacksonville. And the Buccaneers defense and the Carolina defense slugging it out literally in the new sombrero.
By Miller Lite.
This is the first time that I'm able to go home and watch NFL Live at 7 o'clock, Chris Berman, and enjoy it and not wait for him to kill us like he used to. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm going to record everything. I got TiVo, I got everything. I'm rolling.
That's the guy when you move from the Bengals to the Bills. And last week, Takeo, I know you enjoyed it, and you're going to enjoy this week, too. Fire up the TiVo again. Buffalo Bills, boy, it was hot on the field. Over 100 degrees in Jacksonville. On the field it was. Now, Drew Bledsoe was just as hot. Look at Mark Campbell. Take that licking and keep on ticking. Rasheed Mathis on the hit, Tom. Yikes, he was okay.
Yeah, that's a great one-hand grab. Great job holding on to the football, but boy, can Drew put it where he wants if you give him time to throw the football.
And with 7-0 Bills the first quarter, Bledsoe to Josh Reed, 24 yards. On the same drive of the Jags 42, Bledsoe, look at him drop it in there to Eric Moulds. He can still throw it hard. He can drop it in, and then they get close to the goal line. It's Travis Henry, who had 3 touchdowns on the day. Didn't have a big rushing day because it was Bledsoe's day. 14-0 Bills, and they play defense, too, to the chagrin of Jack Del Rio.
Yeah, Jack Del Rio trying to free up Fred Taylor. You just watch his star right there. He's in the backfield in the deep set. We're used to seeing him there. Great job defensively by the Bills. Much improved defense stopping the run. Here, Fred Taylor back outside, slot double wing open is what we call this. Ball designed to go to him. Great job of tackling. That's Antoine Winfield right there making a nice hit, Boom.
All right, under 2 minutes to go in the half, Tom. 14-7 Bills. Bledsoe to Bobby Shaw. The Bobby Shaw redemption. 54 yards, 21-7, Buffalo.
And we talk about a pocket. Just watch here, the beautiful pocket. No pressure on Drew. He's able to step up, step into his throw, and put it, again, exactly where he wants.
Look at that throw to Eric Moulds, 36 yards. And the Bills go on to slice and dice the Jaguars. They have that emotional win at home. Then they go on the road to a non-division foe. You figure, 38-17. Bledsoe, 19 of 25 for 314, 7 of them to Eric Moulds.
Yeah, an outstanding job by that offensive line, because you see Travis Henry's numbers, 21 carries for 26 yards. Yes, the 21 carries we like. The 26 yards were...
First place, Buffalo is in Miami next week. The Super Bowl champs of 2 years ago, Tom Brady and the Patriots, in battle at 0-1, as is Donovan McNabb's Eagles. Neither scored a point in the Billy Preston game. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Nobody has scored, but now we're in the second quarter. Oh, my God, they've each scored. Eagles lead 7-3, but Roosevelt Colvin recovers a loose ball from Donovan McNabb. Ensuing drive, Brady, play action, Christian Euphoria. There is euphoria in New England as they lead it 10-7. Patriots punting second quarter. We like this kid a lot, Bryant Westbrook, but with Brian Mitchell out, Westbrook in, returning the punch. It's a fumble. Andy Reid sees the Patriots recover, and that sets up this. Brady, more euphoria. Touchdown, 17-7 New England. For Donovan McNabb, Mama said there would be days like this. Off all day.
Yeah, looking for his favorite target there. Chad Lewis just put it a little bit out in front of him. There again, coming over the middle, he underthrows him. And that ball a little bit high to Todd Pinkston. He never did get in a rhythm the entire day against New England. Credit that defense.
And then this one, picked off by Teddy Bruschi. And everyone in New England firing down a few Brewskis as the Patriots have come back from a 31-0 bashing at Buffalo to lead 31-10. And then Matt Chatham blindsides McNabb. Anthony Pleasant, not so pleasant at the link. The worst loss in the history of Lincoln Financial Field. They've had 2 games there. 31-10. They actually lost the 2 preseason games, too. Bring the Rats over from the vet. Help out, do something. Because the Eagles are a shocking 0-2 heading into their bye week.
And regardless of what I said this morning, maybe the Patriots are the kind of team that has the ability. I think they did this for themselves. They geared up, and they're going to try to get over this Lawyer Malloy situation.
Now you know why they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
That's correct.
You got a lot of guys that geared it up and maybe salvaged the entire season with that performance. Speaking of performance, Warren Sapp, Buccaneers, welcome home for the first time as Super Bowl champs. Martin Gramatica, field goal blocked by Carolina's Chris Jenkins. And the Panthers, special teams. More on that in a moment. John Fox's squad leads 6-0 at the half. It's 9-3 in the fourth quarter. Julius Peppers, he had the pass rush. He blocks it here. And so 2 blocked field goals. Leave it at 9-3. Under 2 minutes to go. Panthers still clinging to that 9-3 lead. The top 2 ranked defenses of a year ago. Brad Johnson to Carl the Truth Williams. 43 yards. All of a sudden, here come the Bucs. Johnson, Michael Pittman, 11 yards, first down. Ball to 23. 25 seconds left. Brad Johnson. Keyshawn. No, he dropped it. He dropped it. Next play. 3rd and 15. 19 seconds left. Johnson says, don't worry, big guy, I'm coming back to you. That's a harder catch.
Tough.
17-yard completion. Tick, 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 tick. Second and goal, 5 seconds. Johnson. Keenan McCardell. And the Bucs have won. As soon as they kick the extra point, they'll have won it. And the kick is up, and it's blocked. Woo! It's blocked by Chris Jenkins again. Oh, my goodness. We go to overtime. He almost... Well, that was just for fun.
Yeah, I know. They were thinking about college football.
In overtime, they've gone 3.5 minutes left in it, so they've played 11.5 minutes. John Casey at the foot. Good. And a shocking upset of the world champs. The Carolina Panthers go toe-to-toe with Tampa Bay, and trust me, they win it 12-9 in overtime. And Tom, you said they might have the formula.
Well, you talk about a team that likes to run the ball downhill. In between the tackles, Stephen Davis, 33 carries, 142 yards. I think it's really the only weakness on the Buccaneers defense. Maybe the only weakness on that team.
142 yards and 33 attempts for Stephen Davis. And the Panthers have won every game in 3 summers in a row. Don't forget they were undefeated in the preseason. They're used to winning. We're coming back with Game Balls and Primetime Rewind.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Tell it over a great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
If you've turned into Primetime late, don't ever let it happen again, but we're here for you. We'll pick you up this time. This is what you missed, a record-breaking performance. 295 yards in a single game rushing for the Ravens' Jamal Lewis as Baltimore wins at home against the Browns. Congratulations. On 4th down with just seconds to go, Jeff Garcia to Terrell Owens ties this game against the Rams for the Niners, but the Rams win the overtime toss, and Jeff Wilkins kicks the field goal. Mike Martz and Mark Bolger lead him to win 27-24. Priest Holmes, 3 touchdowns, 122 yards rushing for the Chiefs against another high-scoring team, Pittsburgh. But Kansas City at very loud Arrowhead, 2-0 at home, win 41-20. In a game both teams needed badly, Jay Fiedler started the Dolphins off well. He hit Randy McMichael. Ricky Williams had a big day, and the Dolphins beat the Jets for the count of 21-10. Game balls.
Well, I'd be remiss if my game ball didn't go to a guy who set a new NFL record. Jamal Lewis today, the carries, the yards, 295 of them off the 30 carries. And then there's the prediction, which we'll be talking about the rest of the year.
And Drew Bledsoe and the Bills are 2-0. Drew with not only bombs, but touch. Only 19 completions, only threw 25 times for 314. So that's a lot per throw and a lot. And the Buffalo, wow, those wagons are being circled. So, hey, look, you predict you're going to run for,
It's just the most amazing thing I've heard, and we're only 2 weeks into the season. I just think we're looking forward to an amazing season.
It certainly has that smell. Well, week 2 of Primetime's in the books. Thanks for watching. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. See ya.